Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today I decided to do some scientific testing. I definitely am not in need of more money, so I decided, since I recently reported a bug about cargo loading not working, and that bug got fixed, that's actually in the patch notes for the update. I decided to just have a go and test out if it actually works, if it doesn't give me any problems, and as you can see here, seems to be looking all pretty nicely, so yeah. I think another important part of this test should be to see if selling these boxes actually works, or if there might be a problem with that, so that's what we are going to do today. For science. Yes. Anyways, yeah, I definitely needed some more money, and this is one of the fun ways to do it, in my opinion. I mean, waiting here long enough for 93 boxes, oh my god, it's really quite a lot to spawn, was a bit boring at points, but I kept myself busy doing other stuff. Basically, you just load up 10 boxes, then go AFK until the next ones spawn, and rinse and repeat. And eventually some additional boxes spawned. I may have forgotten some in some locations, and that's how we ended up with this load here, which is looking pretty nice in my opinion. And yeah, I'm gonna take it over to first up the harbor, and then we are gonna make our way across the entirety of the island here, and also, oops, gonna go into Jeju. I mean, since we're here already, I kinda need to refuel. Yeah, so I wanted to try out the CUDA for this operation. After all, it's not the heaviest one, so this should be alright. Although the CUDA is actually doing quite well. The stuff that I did in one of the latest episodes with the nine bunches of wood planks, turns out that's actually the new heaviest load that you can transport. So that's 5 ton per load, meaning that overall you go up to 45 tons with it being, god dang it, with it being 9 bunches that you can stack up. It's not necessarily the heaviest trailer though, although yeah it is, but not by as much as you might think. In the end, while you can only transport 40 tons using the Tenko or whatever it's called, the huge liquid transporter trailer, that one also weighs quite a lot more than most other trailers, so that's, I think, from what I've seen on motortown.info, that's 9 tons just on its own, empty, while this one is more like 4.5 tons. So overall, having this one loaded with another 45 tons of wood, that's gonna be heavier in the end than the other trailer, but not by all that much. It's more like just around half a ton. If you want the ultimate thing going on with or just the ultimate weight for trailer plus load, that would likely be the drive-in trailer, this one here, the Vamos. Because that thing weighs a whopping 10 tons on its own, even empty. Oh yeah, I almost forgot something here. But yeah, in the end, that one is gonna be the heaviest one with 45 tons of load. If you can even stack it free high in there, I think you should be able to, but I didn't test it. The thing I needed to do before really delivering anything here is I need to make sure that I don't have too much cargo for this location. Jeju Harbor, that's only 8 cargo, that's alright. I'll show you guys in a moment why. Also, apparently I cannot close that menu with my controller, so had to use the mouse there. So let's see. So a few of them got, wait, what? It told me that there were only 8 boxes for the harbor, or did I misread that? Anyways, 10 is still alright, giving me 11k for just this delivery. That's actually, that's quite a lot. Just for the empties. The thing is, and this is the... Wait. Never mind, that's alright. The thing here is that this area over here in the top left, that only has capacity for 10 boxes. So if I deliver more at once, this one is going to fill up. It is going to accept all of the boxes, but only 10 of them will be processed. So if I have more than 10 to a specific location, like I have over here already, then I need to drop off some first, wait until they are being processed, and then I can unload the rest. If I come in with more than 10 at once, then it's no good. And now I'm a bit skeptical about the entire process, because the game has already lied to me when it comes to the total amount. I mean, let me just check the cargo again. Was it actually OG-Gate that had only 8? Again, I cannot get out of here without the mouse. So I don't know, did I just misread it, or did it just screw me over almost? I mean, in the end, I'm gonna make a lot of money here, and the process boxes are something that I would take care of in another delivery anyways. My tactic here is that I just load up a lot of cargo at once, bring it over to the different processing warehouses, and then I'm just gonna leave it there for a while. And if I actually need the money, then I'm just gonna come in and yeah, make a withdrawal. So right now I'm basically just depositing. And theoretically it's also kinda really just like me having 7 savings accounts around the area. Although sadly this doesn't give me any dividends, at least not anything additional for the time that I leave the stuff there. The one thing that I actually was meaning to buy and that I then found out I don't have enough money for was actually another one of these trailers. I want to have a flanker trailer without the walls, just as an option for off-roading, so that won't be lowered completely. Just in case I ever do something again like the last episode and that follow-up 1.5 hour video. That's gonna be most likely linked in the description, or at least it's going to be in the playlist. So after the last video I actually tried to do the full delivery of the planks to the new place. It just really didn't work out. So long story short, I made some good progress until I was almost at the lake and... Oh shit, I should have... Yeah, that's on me. That's 4 boxes being wasted, but I mean, as you can tell, yeah, there aren't 14 in here. So gotta be more careful next time. It happens. 10 should be good enough anyways. I'll need to come and empty the stuff out eventually. It's getting kind of full, which is nice. But yeah, I gotta take care of it at some point. Anyways, so yeah, I had an uphill battle with my Titan and the same trailers I'm using right now, loaded with planks, and also using the Brutus Wrecker, I managed to get a bit further, but about at the halfway point I encountered an obstacle that I could not overcome, quite sadly, and eventually I decided, because I kind of put myself in a ditch, I wanted to reset the vehicle, and it just, well, it just ended up putting me back outside of the area. I didn't notice that it was actually likely over a kilometer away, the point to which it would send me to, and that just, yeah, reset my entire progress there. In the end, it was not a smart idea trying to go into the area with a semi-truck like that. That really wasn't what you are meant to do there. And I'm not entirely sure if there's even a vehicle that's meant to go into that area and deliver the planks. I think right now that's maybe a bit of a trap, potentially. But yeah, I tried, and to be clear, I didn't only try once. I recorded the first time, but my idea was that, hey, let's have another go at it without the stupid reset. Let's see if I can go over there, because I was pretty sure that as soon as I was actually at the lake, I likely would have had an easy run, and the rest should have been easier than what came before. I think the hardest part was really the first half of the trail. So I tried again, and then I noticed that I just had no way of getting over that little hill there. That incline was just too steep, it was too long, and it didn't work out. I tried rocking the car back and forth, trying to build up momentum, it didn't work. I even tried to bring it back up the other side and drive down again, and with how uneven the ground is, that didn't work. And no, I'm not gonna do the same mistake again, at least not right away. That was the wrong one. Where is my cargo? We are at Xingshang. Are we? No, I don't want to drop it. Yeah, we are at Xingshang, so I need to get at least 4 crates off here, so let me just see if I can find some. Ah, they're in the back. $1.4K is not too shabby. And I've seen some people trying to make the argument that these boxes are now also top tier. I mean, they pay quite a lot, you can't really argue about that, but keep in mind that collecting them, that's a tedious and long task. And once you take that into account, and well, unless you just park a truck there and then come back after a while, that would make it possibly a lot more viable. But if you're just sitting there AFKing, it's not gonna be that great. And you also cannot do server hopping anymore for this. Usually, quite a few updates ago, there was an option to basically... I just want to try one more. You used to be able to just load stuff on a server, just get all the boxes from there, then go into another server and bring the boxes with you, and then once you have everything loaded that you can grab, then you could just go and sell them. That doesn't work anymore. The boxes don't stay with you if you switch servers. Okay, I cleared out quite a bit. Can I just... No, escape doesn't work either. I know it's kind of weird for me trying to navigate all the menus with a controller when having to grab the mouse. Okay, it's empty enough for me to just bring the stuff in. And it was apparently still 9 boxes, so I'm glad that I got a few more out than I thought I needed. I think that's a good measurement just in case. Okay, next up, OG. That's how I usually do the whole thing. I go to the harbor first because that's nearby. Then I go over to Xinjiang over here. Then over to OG. Then I come back to Seonsan, which is a warehouse right next to the East End Bridge. Coming back up north from OG. Then I go to Gangyang, and from there I go up to the rest area. And theoretically I could then go back to the military base. And yeah, there are also quite a few other possible tactics. Sometimes I just, or at least in the past, I just got the boxes that I found there, put them all into some order, and then went to maybe like 2 locations with some of the boxes, and then came back, went over to the next one. That's a good way if you want to use a smaller vehicle and just be a bit quicker overall. I think military crates are really some amazing type of good that just allow you to employ a lot of different tactics. Partially also helped by these boxes not being affected by the... God, I'm stumbling over my words again. I mean the whole reward scaling thing. You're always gonna get the same for each box, no matter what vehicle you use to transport them. Unless it's not even rented out, but unless it's one of those company vehicles that has ownership share turned on. That looks like a weird piece of road in the distance that just vanished there. Was right above the road sign up in front. I should probably take a closer look at the map in a moment. After all, we've just gotten the final release of the 0.75+2 version. So this is now all back on the main branch. And usually Betty works on stuff in between. And those changes are not always well documented, but I mean, it's just world building. It works out pretty well. And I mean world building in the most literal sense. I should probably also just use this map over here. So let's take a look. This stuff is still all unmarked. This all doesn't seem to be connected. I mean, it's only been a few days since the beta update, so there isn't really too much to be expected here. Yeah, I think that's likely all pretty much unchanged. I think this might be my Brutus Wrecker, yeah. And this was the term where I couldn't make it any further. And after this, it would have likely been very smooth sailing for the most part. So that whole thing was a waste of time, twice. But it was fun to attempt. I think if it was multiplayer, I could have maybe made it using another Brutus Wrecker that would have given me some advantages. But at some point it just gets pretty ridiculous, and needing such a vehicle to get through a path like that to begin with, that's already a bit weird. Okay, this might also be my first time really going out and taking my CUDA to a high speed, so I gotta keep an eye on the engine heat level and everything. I think maybe I want to take another FDR, just go a bit higher, Just so that maybe even if I don't go faster than this, I could at least stay in a lower RPM range. And yeah, I don't know if you saw it in the video, but I had it since the last update or so that around the map in some locations it just really gets a bit stuttery for a moment. It's kind of a weird thing with this game. Usually frame rate, that's always of course frames per second. The frames are spread out equally across the second. So if I have 60 frames per second, I get like one frame about every 60th of a second, and that works out pretty well. And that's also alright if it's just 40 frames or something. The thing that I'm going somewhere with this. The thing that I'm finding a bit weird with Motortown as it is, it sometimes feels like if I get 59 frames per second, I get 59 of those frames with 1/60th of a second in between them, so that's smooth. But once a second where I should get the last frame, it just skips one, and that's making the entire thing feel unsmooth. Oh god. That was also very unsmooth there. Not great driving on my end. So this truck also has a bit of an issue with jackknifing, as you may have noticed. I don't know if it became apparent by now. Okay, I'm not even gonna look at the amount of crates I supposedly have. That may not be accurate. How many do I have in here? Oh. Already above 30, and I just accidentally picked up something. Oh yeah, I'm having the issue with things overlapping again. I think I reported that a while ago. There have been a few UI changes, I think with a company update, and yeah, some stuff doesn't seem to work out perfectly right now. Oh, not again. Shouldn't have pressed the button. I also don't need oranges, so please take those back. So let's take a look at how many boxes we apparently have. It says 5. It also says I'm only getting 700 for those, so I'm not entirely sure about that. I think there's a good chance that it's either 16 or 10. So I may want to manually get rid of some more boxes here. I mean, then again, I'm not really seeing many more. It may be that 16 are actually going to... Oh, there was another one in there. With 16 are actually going to the resting area. So let's see if there shouldn't be too many in here. Okay. Let's just reverse and hope for the best. And yeah, in between episodes, I'll most likely just grab a few more crates from here and bring them over to the military base. Maybe I load them up and make another video out of it. That should be an interesting payout. Another 7k for my troubles. It said those were 7 boxes. It must have been more like 5 or something. Otherwise, the payout doesn't make much sense here. It's a bit weird. Okay, let's quickly refuel. Another little issue with the Cuda is that it doesn't have an additional fuel tank, so range is a bit limited compared to some of the other semis. I would really much prefer a 3-axle version of Cuda. I think that would be much better if it was like another 6x4 truck instead of 4x2. Let me just mark out the next location. And then quickly refresh all the buses. They seem to be doing alright, I hope. It's down there at the military base. Just waiting for my return, I guess. And everything just gets worse and worse with how much stuff is flying around on the back of my truck, but in the end, well, reworking everything here, just dropping everything down, that would be quite the task, and yeah, I don't want to make this too long. I think we'll go for the entire delivery route. It's gonna be another long video then, but I don't like leaving things unfinished, and this would not be enough of a task that would warrant turning this into a two-parter. I think I've done this in the past, and I don't just want to make a lot of videos just about military grades again, even though I still quite like them. There are limits to how much I want to focus on them. But yeah, the Cuda right now is doing quite okay. But for heavy loads, I would still rather pick another semi. And it's not really a problem, but something that I don't really like that much, because in the end, right now there are 5 semi trucks in the game. And yeah, the Limusi semi is going to come in at some point, but with its size and everything, I think it's gonna be more specialized for off-roading once again, and most likely not for these kinds of heavy loads. What you'll be able to use it for is gonna be another topic, which we'll have to see once I can finally buy one and upgrade it. But yeah, the main thing is right now 5 semi-trucks, and with how I set things up, I really will only ever be using 2 of them for most deliveries. That being the FL1 and the Golima. Cuda is quite okay, but also most likely going to be struggling with heavier stuff, especially when it comes to jackknifing. I mean, it even does that right now, and I don't think this trailer is too heavy. But yeah, it's kind of limited with what it can do with the lack of another axle. Yes, RT is something that I've pretty much given up on when it comes to cargo transportation. I mean, it could do single container deliveries, but when do you really want to do that ever? And I also just turned my Titan into an off-road vehicle, and that's something that I definitely need it to be. But that leaves me with really only 2 options for a lot of the deliveries, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I'll be checking out what I can reasonably do with preferably Musi semi once that comes out. I think it's gonna look mighty weird towing the tanker trailer and stuff like that. Also the drive-in trailer, but I don't even have one of those. But yeah, it could be another option for some stuff. I still think it will be most likely more limited to not heavy duty stuff, but really heavy off-road focused things. As you would expect from that. Yeah, I think most of these boxes are for other locations, so I don't think this should be that much of a problem. Just in case. Also, how many are in here? 15. Okay, I think I've done this. I emptied out this one a while ago. And I know that I didn't go for every single one that I could have. Seon-sang. At least we are now getting rid of some of the floaty stuff, but I think most of those will be for the last two locations. There's of course a few in the bottom that I cannot really reach from the outside, although some areas of that also seem to be quite emptied out. We now get 2 to the rest area. Something's really up with this entire thing. But yeah, Seon-sang only having 4 in there, that's something that I can buy, so let's see what it really gives me. Yep, only 4 of those. So back to Gangyang we go. And what I usually like to do from that point on is just load everything over onto a smaller vehicle and do the last delivery of something like the Kira van or so. I'm gonna have to see about that, but yeah, it really depends on how many are going to be remaining. 30 crates, so only 2 locations is not shabby. The one thing that I was meaning to mention but I kind of forgot about until now, when it comes to doing only partial deliveries, just leaving a few of the crates behind and only going to certain locations, that seems to be working better in multiplayer because there you don't really see them despawning all that much. But in single player, I had it multiple times where I left some behind just laying on the ground, and when I came back, those despawned. In multiplayer, that apparently doesn't happen for some reason. Maybe I just got lucky that there was always somebody close enough to the military base to keep them loaded in. Or some stuff just works out differently on there, I don't know. Oh god. Whoop! Well, that's the face plant. Okay, let's try and get this reconnected. I mean, it wouldn't have been an episode of mine without something like this happening, I guess. I hope I can fit under there. Well, aiming better would already help out. Like it, love. And yeah, usually try to um, I usually try to lower the landing gear and only then connect the truck to the trailer, because otherwise with how everything is set up, oftentimes when I attach the truck first, then it just lifts the entire thing up. Yeah, I haven't done these in a while. I tend to just ignore the getaway jobs for some reason. Should really do them. They are quite good money for what you have to do there. Unless it's with incredibly slow vehicle. I wonder if part of my bad driving style is due to how the AI is driving. I think to some degree that's true. Some of them, the stuff that I pull is definitely down to me being an impatient idiot who just can't drive well. But some of it is really me being impatient with the other idiots on the road. Also just try to turn a corner and just cannot figure it out. At some point you just get annoyed with them and try to bypass. Just overtake before they can slow you down. Okay, we definitely need to clear out a few boxes before I make that delivery, otherwise I'm gonna be very sad about it. Let's see, how many boxes are there in this one anyways? 29. That's already quite a lot. Let's make that a few more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was wrong location, but I think hello there. At this point we can also do this and just have it reset all the boxes. That seems like an awfully convenient coincidence that I just had one box left over and everything else fit into place. I hope I didn't just delete any of those. How far did I count up? We are now down to 21 boxes. Let's check. So that should be alright. Yeah, that's another 7 boxes, so that checks out. And the other 14 need to go up the mountain. Yeah, I think that's enough that I just need to take the semi. I could theoretically load it over to the caravan, but that's gonna take a while. I would likely also need to use the trailer for that. So better to just stick with this one right here. I should have maybe taken the right here. I think that would have been faster. Also, one thing I'm really curious about when it comes to the development of a game, we are now in, as I said, 075 plus 2. I wonder if they plan on making another decently large 075 plus 3 update, or if the next one is gonna be 076. I think if the next one would be 076, then it would likely take a longer time and maybe even more than what we already got. But I gotta say, just with the expansion to the map, or there now being more stuff that we can actually use in some of the areas, and the new vehicle, I wouldn't have minded if this was its own like major update. I don't know, it's maybe a bit too small for a major update, but it feels very major for just a regular patch or something like that. But man, this thing is really easy to jackknife, especially in the rain. Maybe I just have a weird setup on my suspension. I know I have the rear springs fully stiffened up to 500%, front ones are 300%, and I think the rear is also a bit higher so that if I load something heavy, it can compress a bit more before it gets into any issues. While the front axle always seems to have, or the front wheels have a lot of headroom before they would hit anything. So I think it's a good setup for its physical demands, the space that it should need, but it's maybe not a good one for the kind of handling that I want. So yeah, I may have to reconsider things because this thing is borderline undrivable right now. And I think maybe the less weight it gets on the back, it might even get worse. So that's not amazing, if especially if you may consider just driving the truck without the trailer. My rule of thumb for a lot of these vehicles is that I want the front springs to be stiffer than the back ones. And that's certainly not the case here, and that's a bit of a problem. But yeah, weight distribution for these trucks is a bit of a mess anyways compared to a regular vehicle, which is more like 50-50. But yeah, already made 100k today. Nice. And this is just for the trip bringing the boxes over. Bringing them back to the military base once they are loaded, that's usually quite a bit more lucrative. I don't know how the balancing is going to work out now. I should have maybe checked the prices. I may do so at the last location. But usually it's multiple times more money per box when you get to deliver the loaded ones. Bringing the empties around to the other places is more like a necessity than really something that you want to do, something that you get paid well for. But I guess that used to be the case. And in the end, as I mentioned before, while it is nice to get a big bonus at the end of a supply chain, and this is also kind of its own special supply chain in a way, it doesn't always work out that well, especially if you go to multiplayer and somebody does the later part of the chain, somebody does the earlier part, and one of them gets completely screwed over in the process. I actually want to deliver. I didn't want. I didn't want to deliver. I wanted to open the side wall, just like that. So let's see. I have 28 in here now, or more like 29, and they go for 2.5k. So that's definitely been nerfed. That used to be much more. More like 3.5k, and the boxes, empty ones, when you deliver, all used to go for I think 480 bucks. So yeah, basically for this one at least, it's about 1k loaded over from the full ones to the empty ones, and maybe or more like more like 900 per box is loaded over from delivering the full ones to the empty ones. And maybe the fully loaded ones also got a bit of a nerf. But it's really not too bad. Ka-ching. And yeah, at this point I just thought, why even bother and try and bringing all of them in, might as well unload them individually. At this point it's rather straightforward. Why was the last one only worth half the money? Or did I just accidentally overload it? That cannot be the case, because then it would be at like 8 or 9 boxes and not 4. But yeah, this all worked out, and I guess I could take the 30 something back down. Why does it only tell me 36? Is there another set of boxes here? Anyways, that's gonna be it for this episode. I'm back in the money, I would guess. Wouldn't hurt making a bit more money, but right now I don't have that much that I want to buy. I tried buying a few more properties in between episodes, just so that I have more areas to teleport to. For example, this one here, in case I ever want to do something with fuel storage. I made a delivery over here a while ago, but I didn't really do anything from that point on. Might have to see if I want to change that sooner or later. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day and see you guys next time. Bye bye.